Okay, so we are live. Hey everyone, it's Nick here from Childcare Business Growth. Hope you guys are having a super awesome day. So I am I know I'm normally excited, but I'm even more excited today because I've got a very good friend of mine, Devon Brown here, who those of you that know that came to CBG Live last year will remember Devon. You got up on stage with Devon. Devon is an amazing MC that's going to be running the event. So Devon, massive shout out to you and massive welcome. Thank you once again for joining us this year. We are so excited to have you there.
I'm excited, Nick. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be back. Such an amazing group and so fun. And the audience is so willing to learn and grow and expand and play full out. I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
No, and I love the fact what you talked about there, play full out, because they do like to play full out. Last year we had a great time. We got everyone involved. We got everyone up on their feet. You had everyone up on stage dancing. And one of the things, I can't tell you guys too much yet before the event, but Devon and I have just been talking about what we've got planned this year for the event. And we're taking this to a whole nother level from those of you that came last year. We're going to be gamifying. We're going to be doing a lot of fun things that you guys probably didn't know about, but will be done at this year's event. So it's going to take it to a whole nother level, which I'm excited about. So Devon, tell us a little bit, if you don't mind, about your background and why you love to do what you do.
Well, thank you for asking. Great question. So for those of you who don't know me, like Nick said, my name is Devon Brown. I am a professional event MC. For those of you guys who are familiar with the phrase, MC normally stands for Master of Ceremonies, and that's my technical job title. But what I tell people that I do for a living is that I'm actually not an MC, Master of Ceremonies. I'm actually more of an ME. ME stands for Master of Energy. My job is to influence the energy in the room, because the higher the energy in the room, the more engaged you are. The more engaged you are, the more fun you're having, the more learning you're doing, and the more learning you're doing, the more you're able to take that knowledge back and implement it in your business. And when you can implement it into your business, it allows you to grow and impact and scale and touch the lives of so many more people. So my job is basically to help you get the most out of Childcare Business Growth Live. That's my job, is to help you get the most out of the event.
I love that. And someone just commented, I so loved your energy last year. So can see the comments coming in. So yeah, I love that, Master of Energy. And those of you that came last year, you know, I think I've been to a fair few conferences now where, you know, you come towards the afternoon, everyone gets a bit tired, get a bit lethargic, and the energy drops off. And I think that has a massive impact on the quality of learning and your retention, that you don't take away as much from the event. So that's why obviously we've got Devon joining us, because of the impact that Devon had on the event last year. And I know I can see Kimberly join us from Atlanta right now. Kimberly, you were definitely up on stage last year. She was enjoying herself. So it was great to see you, Kimberly. I expect to see you there again this year, which is going to be amazing. So just really quickly, Devon, tell us a bit about, you know, why energy is so important to these events. I know you touched on Master of Energy, but you know, some of the breakthroughs that happen as a result of being more engaged, not checking your phone, and why those things kind of happen at these events.
Yeah, here's the real quick shout out to Atlanta. That's where I'm based. So mad love to Atlanta. Here's what I've learned from doing, I don't know, hundreds of events over the years. You never know when one speaker is going to say one thing, often just off the cuff, and that one thing is going to dramatically impact your entire business. And if you are not awake and energized and in your seat, paying attention and ready and open to hearing that, because you're down in here or you're kind of dozing off or you want to, you know, take a break, if you're not present and awake internally to hear that one golden nugget, then you are missing out. So the reason that energy is important is because it, in large part, it keeps you present. And when you're present, you are able to receive the gift that whoever is on stage is giving you.
I love that. And I think so many people have or go to events and you spend all this money, you know, you make that investment, you travel there, all the time out, time away from family, and you see people sometimes on their phones think, what are you doing? Like you just said, you could miss out on that one golden nugget that could literally, in some respect, impact the whole of your business and the future trajectory of your business as well. So a couple of comments coming in. Oh, by the way, I always say, my apologies, everyone. Those of you that are joining us live, remember, if you tell us where you're joining us from, you do get a chance to win a ticket to join us for free at CBG Live. So we've had quite a few people are now joining us off the back of this. So Kimberly, make sure everyone tell us where you're joining us from so we can say your name as well. We'd really appreciate that. And then hopefully I'll get Devon to pick a winner for us as well before we end this today. So
okay, deal.
There's a couple of things. Devon, you know about some of the speakers. Obviously, there's one or two people we're bringing back because of the impact they had. But there's one person I haven't told everyone about yet. But now I can officially tell everyone it's done. We're ready to go. Tell us about, if you don't mind, your experience of Nick Santanoso and how you think he's impacted people's lives, because no one will know of Nick in the industry. So, and we spoke about bringing Nick last year. We weren't in a position financially to afford him last year. That's just me being totally open honest with everyone. Now this year we've managed to negotiate with Nick to come along. I'm over the moon that we have Nick, we have Devon, we have Deborah. But why, in your opinion, is Nick so important for events like this?
I have shared the stage with Nick Santanoso, and by the way, if you don't know him, go look him up, go check him out on Instagram. If you're not familiar with Nick, Nick is a motivational speaker, and his story is quite unique. And you'll see when you look at him, he's got one arm and no legs. And whenever I look at Nick, and I've shared the stage with him multiple times, whenever I look at Nick is the answer to one question that business owners and entrepreneurs need to ask themselves all the time. And that is, what's your excuse for not having the success you want to have? What's your excuse? When I look at Nick and I look at his situation and I sit there and I say to myself, Devon, if Nick is doing what he's doing, Devon, what's your excuse? What's your excuse for not growing your business to the degree that you want to grow it to? If this individual can do it, what's your excuse? So Nick, just his presence, forget his knowledge, which is amazing. Forget his ability to motivate, which is amazing. Forget his understanding of human psychology and success, which is amazing. Just watching Nick on stage puts things into perspective. And every time I see him on stage, I say to myself, wow, I have no excuses. I literally have no excuses for not living into and fully being what I am capable of being. Thank you, Nick, for just being you, because you've just literally taken everything that I felt sorry for myself about, or that I looked at as an obstacle. You've taken every obstacle, I'll put challenge in my way, and you've literally, just by looking at you, made me throw it out the window and be like, yep, I'm good. No reason I can't overcome all of that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And for those of you, like as Devon said, go and check him out just to get an idea of the impact this person will have. I remember watching Nick at an event, Fun Hacking Live, actually, when I was virtually attending because we couldn't go at the time. And the emotion just from watching him on virtual was insane. It was unbelievable what I got from that session. And I just now alone, when I look at the combination of, let alone all the other amazing speakers, but yourself, Deborah Tillman, and Nick, people are just going to be blown away. And I genuinely mean that with the greatest respect. It's going to have a huge impact on your lives, because these three individuals alone will literally enable you to transform your personal life, your business life, and as Devon said, not have any excuses or reasons why you can't achieve what you want to either. So, Devon, I couldn't agree with you anymore with that. And the next big one for me, if you don't mind, because we're doing another big one around the round tables. I remember one of the first events I came to with you where I was hosting one of the round tables, and I'd never done them prior to that point. It was one of those things I thought, I've heard about them, but I don't actually realize the impact on my business by attending these. what's your opinions around the roundtable sessions that take place?
You're crazy if you don't attend them, and let me tell you why. I'm just, real talk. Events like CBG bring in the top speakers and industry experts in the world in their industry, right? So with regard to childcare business and childcare business growth, you're bringing in the top experts in the world, right? And very often, these experts charge in the thousands of dollars just to spend a few minutes with them. But what happens is you come to CBG Live, you get to be around not one of them, but all of them, and watch them on stage. And then you come to a round table where you can literally sit right next to them and tell them your challenge and have them give you insights that would either A, take you years to learn, or B, cost you tens of thousands of dollars to figure out by yourself. So it's an opportunity. There's a I'm going to mess up this quote, but the essence of it says that the closer you are to success, the easier success becomes, right? And so what these roundtables allow you to do is say, ooh, here's this super ultra successful person who's 10 years ahead of where I am in a very similar business. They know all the hiccups. They know all the speed bumps. They know all the roadblocks. They know all the challenges. They know all the answers to this stuff. Not only do I get to be in the room with them, but I also get to sit right next to them and pick their brain and actually form a relationship with them. You are crazy if you don't attend roundtables. Like roundtables are just like a bonus that you can put no price on with regard to value.
I completely agree. And I remember two things, if you don't mind, Devon, I'm going to add to that.
Yeah.
I remember one of the first ones I went to, and I had no idea what to expect from these. And one of the biggest lessons I've ever learned since is they are great, but there's a way to elevate them to a whole nother level. Okay. And the one way to elevate them to a whole nother level is to get out your notepad starting today and to literally write down a page for all your questions to do with finance, or a page to do with staffing, or a page to do this. Oh, can you hear me, Devon?
Yeah, no. That is, no, I was just pointing to my brain. That is smart. That is smart. That is smart. Yes.
And just literally write down every single question. It doesn't matter. Don't focus on the speaker. Focus on the problems or the challenges you have going on in your business right now, and categorize them based on what the topic is. So if it's finance, or if it's staffing, if it's recruitment, if it's marketing, enrollment, whatever it is, just list down your questions or your challenges or your whatever's going on right now, and bring that booklet to the event, okay? Because there is no excuse why you shouldn't come to this event and leave with every single one of those questions answered. There's no excuse. The only excuse is if you make a reason why you're not going to join the round tables because there's something else, or there's a phone call you've got to make, or anything else. So just to back up what Devon said there, don't just focus on the speakers, focus on your problems or challenges and write down every single one of those questions. And I remember last year, some people didn't know what a round table was. They said, oh, I've got to go and get food. And I tried to convince as many people as possible to say, hey, look, just hang on for 60 minutes or so. And I remember there was one particular lady at the event, and I won't say her name, but she basically said if she didn't come to that roundtable event and she didn't meet the person that we introduced her to, it wouldn't have changed her. And she literally broke down. I don't know if anyone's ever seen a robot being switched on, where the eyes come on. You know, it sounds crazy, but she just came back to life. Just from that one conversation, her eyes just lit up, and you could just see she, as if she came alive again, and she now knew that there was hope at the end of that dark tunnel that she was finding herself on. And some of you right now are in situations where you're either struggling financially, you're maxed out, you're struggling staff-wise, or anything else, and there's no reason why you should not come to this event and be able to get every single one of those questions answered. So, yeah. So just there's a kind of big point from Devon and I. Make sure you attend these roundtables. Saturday night, it's a massive plus factor to be there. And the last one for me, just don't forget, everyone, there's lots of comments here. Make sure you tell us exactly where you're joining us from and who your name is, because some of you, we can't see the names for some reason. Apologies if we can't, but tell us where you join us from. I'd love to know as well. So one big one for me as well, just to touch on really, really quickly. Devon, there are roughly about 40 tickets left before we maxed out of the room, okay? There are probably about, this is no exaggeration, there are roughly about 1,800 people that have inquired still to come to the event, but have not secured their tickets yet. So there are 40 tickets left, roughly, and there are about 1,800 people that have made inquiries but not committed yet. What would your explanation or answer be to them of why you think they should come to CBG Live?
Well, that depends on how quickly they want their business to grow. That depends on how quickly you want to overcome the challenges that you're facing that are keeping you from where you want to be. If your desire is to accelerate success, if your desire is to overcome those challenges more rapidly and more effectively, if your desire, if you started your business and you had these dreams, right, of multiple 6 or 7 figure, 8 figure, whatever you had these dreams of, and you're finding that when you jumped into it, the road to whatever your goal is has been faced with some challenges that you weren't expecting, then what I would say to you is, the closer you get to the people who have already overcome those challenges and can show you the shortcuts and can show you the most effective ways to turn those challenges into opportunities, the closer you can get to those people, the faster you hit this goal that you want to hit. And so what I would say to you is this, and this is somebody who sees the effects of, I do more events and I go to more events than 99.9% of people in the world. I did a stint just this year where I did like 13 or 14 events in 16 weeks. And what I get to see is a lot of the events I do are events that I was also at last year. Like, this is going to be my second year at CBG. And what I know firsthand, what I know that I've seen more times than I can count, is this story. Devon, I was at insert event here last year, and I wasn't sure if I should come or not. And my funds were tight, and it was scary. And I was scared, but something inside me told me that I need to come. And I came to this event. And I saw you on stage, and I saw speaker A, and I saw speaker B, and I actually got to sit next to speaker C at the round table. And Devon, I'm back here next year. I'm back here this year, and I'm so glad to see you, because what I wanted to say is that my business was doing X amount before this event, and I was so inspired, motivated, and so I had so much more knowledge after the event that now my business is here, and I'm not just struggling to pay a ticket for myself, but I've actually got 2 of my team members here, and we all came, and we decided to spend extra time in Orlando because we can do that, and we can afford that now, and it's all because when I was scared to come to this event last year, I ended up coming. I said yes, even though I was scared. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that story. And so what I would say is this: if you want that to be your story, if you want to achieve success more quickly and not have to figure it out yourself, if you want to be like, hey, what are the answers to this test called business and life, and you want people to start just telling you the answers, show up. If you don't want that, if you're cool figuring it out yourself, no hate, no shade from me. If you're cool figuring it out yourself, do you. But if you want to figure it out faster, you want to surround yourself with like-minded people to help lift you up and get you to where you want to go, then it's an absolute no-brainer. There's no decision to be made. Just do it.
So. I love that. Completely agree. I'm actually getting quite emotional listening to you saying that, because there's so many people that you can relate to. I exactly the same scenario. We've got one lady bring in 10 of her team this year because I remember talking to John Parks, and I said, John, I go to all these events, and I said, I get so inspired, I get so motivated, and I go back And my team, you know, you're so excited to tell them everything, but they're not quite on the same page. And he said it's because they didn't have the same epiphany as you when you were at the event. And I just want to say to there you go. Someone just mentioned they brought some of their staff last year.
There you go.
Yeah. And I want to encourage every single one of you to just to piggyback on the back of what Devon just said there. Not only is it important for you to be in the room, but the amount of team people, owners that are bringing their team this year is, you know, just probably 10x what it was last year, simply because of they realize how important it is to bring their team along as well. And I genuinely mean this, everyone. There are roughly probably 39 to 40 tickets left right now before we are maxed out in the room. We do not have any room to expand. The fire marshal will not allow us to do that. So if you have not secured your tickets yet, please go and get them now, because I don't want people messaging me a week from now saying, hey, can I get tickets? And we'll shut down, because I know that will happen. So Devon, I want to say a massive thank you to you. I am extremely grateful for you being here. I'm super pumped for the event in literally 3 weeks from now. And yeah, just want to say thank you to Devon. Everyone give a big shout out in the comments as well. Devon, one last thing for me, if you can you pick a winner? I don't know if you can see all the comments.
I can.
Names. I'll let you pick a winner if that's okay. And then we'll get some free tickets sent out to this individual.
Okay. Yeah, and two things. I just saw somebody ask if I was going to dance this year. Yes, I'm going to be dancing on stage, and you're going to be dancing with me. All right. So let me see. The first person I see who gave us their name, let's say Jewel Moore from Georgia. Jewel. And I promise you, I did not just do that because we're representing Atlanta and I'm representing Georgia. I just scrolled. First person I saw, Jewel from Georgia. Congratulations.
Massive congrats. You won't remember this one because you've done so many events, but Jewel was at the front last year. She's in the highlight reel. She was dancing every single time you were up there. So Jewel is going to be over the moon to have you pick her. So congrats to you, Jewel. You're more than welcome to bring one of your team along. We'd love to have you there. So, Devon, I just want to say, again, a massive thank you. I'm very, very grateful for you being here. I look forward to seeing you a few weeks from now. And for another CBG Live, it's just going to escalate to a whole nother level.
I love it. I cannot wait. Thank you all for having me back. And thank you for all being in this industry and making such a difference in the lives of families. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Devon.